brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light!
Hey guys, it's StarrySky, and welcome to my Earth DPS T5 Raid Ranged video, part 2. Now in the first video you would have seen the first ranged loadout with the PowerPoints and the rotation behind it. Now all this one is simply a simple variation of that loadout, which pretty much doesn't use the totem, and you'd never have to go near anything. And this one you can completely stay back without having to place things. So it depends on how you would like it. If you want to use the totem, you can use that loadout, or you can use this one. Anyway, first of all, let's go straight to loadout. So from left to right, we've got Rumble Crush. Picks up, summons a rock, chucks it, inflicts damage, and puts the power interaction of Crush. Debris Field. Summons an AoE area. Anything with Crush or Day takes additional damage over time. Striking Stones. Anything that's got a Crush effect takes instant damage and damage over time. Sand Blast, pretty much our boss killer, but also good for clipping our weapon combo with. A simple but effective 25% supercharge, or unless we let it build up to 75%, we can use the aftershock and get additional damage plus burn-in. And then the variation part is mostly the supercharge and the robot psychic. Now with pets, the higher you CR you get, the better the damage increases. As you'll see in a bit how much the damage will do, a robot psychic over a whole raid will do a considerable lot of damage, and the only power it costs is to summon it. Plus also, I do find it helps with maintaining aggro, because most of the time they would rather attack the robot psychic than me. So if the robot psychic dies and I don't, what am I going to do? I'm just going to resummon it. So anyway, that's the loadout. But also, what I want to say is I use Rumble Crush for AoE. If there's a big group of ads, I'm going to use Rumble Crush. But when it comes to bosses, I'm going to take out Rumble Crush, and I'm going to put in Earthen Grip. Now why Earthen Grip? For people using it as a tank pool. Yeah, it is a tank pool, but in DPS role, it's just a single target DPS skill that would do damage and it will inflict crushing. Plus, you don't have to summon a rock and chuck it. So for the single targets, this will be a lot better, a lot quicker. Still the same power interaction. Okay, so let's go to the PowerPoints. And the Geokinesis T, I've got a point in Earthen Grip, Striking Stones, Shards, Debris Field, and Rumble Crush. In the Seismic Tree, I have power points in the Stone, Earthquake, Localized Tremor, Unstoppable, Sand Blast. Now in the Iconics, most importantly, I've put power points in Weapons Expert, Tactical Genius. And then if you have the rest of the PowerPoints, obviously I've got Robot Psychic. Now you always want to put a point in Super Strength, because when you use a Rumble Crush, the weaponization will increase the base damage of Rumble Crush when it's thrown, and also the crit damage. And then for T5 raids, I preferably have put the extra spare PowerPoint into the 100 HP. Now this, people think, oh yeah, but 100 HP is so much. To be honest, this could be the difference between getting one shot and surviving. If a lot in the T5 raids, they will hit you for maybe 4.1k. So if you have 4.2k, you know you're not going to die, where you previously would have done before. So I always prefer the HP. So that's the loadout and the PowerPoints. So let's cover the weapons. Now we want weapons that are easy to clip, but also do some nice range damage. Now there's various options. What we're looking for is something that can be charged and clipped, which would do high damage plus AoE damage and single damage. Now the few weapons which I do recommend is either dual wield for the charge attack, and then you can clip it, so it do a few thousand damage on a single target. All the damage is split on multiple targets, making it an ideal weapon, even for range. Hand blasters, simply fact for the solar flare has been changed to an AoE, and all it is a simple hold tap, and you can clip the tap part, so you can easily do a lot of weapon attacks. Plus, the AoE damage on it is really high, and also on single target, the damage is just crazy. And for the final weapon, I would recommend staff. Recently, I've been hearing about a lot of staff using focus spin about staff. They let it charge up full, and then they clip it with like sandblast and pale and thorns, and they're hitting some crazy numbers with it. So that's also very good. So those three weapons are pretty much the best ones for this ranged loadout. So okay, let's get to the loadout and the rotation. But first of all, I'll show you what this damage does. Now my CR at the moment for my DPS gear is like 95. So the damage will scale with my CR, and as you can see, it's doing standard hits of 299, 31, 34, 36, 38, and 95. Now I'm probably thinking, well, the damage is not that much. Well, imagine it over a whole like an hour's raid. How much is that damage going to build up? And it's free damage. The number's quite high. Plus also its normal attacks. That one there is also AoE. It will hit loads of ads at the same time. So the amount of damage a Robot Psychic would do over a whole raid is crazy. And it's ranged, so we don't have to get mixed in there, because you saw the Robot Psychic will go close, so they'll rather attack the Robot Psychic than me. So anyway, for the AoE rotation, where there's a big group of ads, we would go Rumble Crush, Refield, Striking Stones, Jump Test, Clip first, and then we would go into weapon combo. Now you can pretty much do that 3 times before the cooldown on Tectonic. It's gonna, as you can see, the numbers for yourself are pretty high. Now you can imagine that on a full big group of ads, all that damage over time going while you're doing your weapon combo. So as you can see, I'm actually using hand blasters. Now that's a simple solar flare hold that we do in mass AoE on everything. So once again, for the AoE rotation, it's Rumble Crush. Pick it up, throw it. Brayfield, Striking Stones, Jump to speed up the animation time, and then we want to clip our weapon. See, it's nice and fast, simple and effective. And while we're doing all that, we're building up a supercharge, so we can use that quite frequently, since it's 25%, and also a Robot Psychic is going to be kissing everything else as well. Free damage added to our scorecard. Nice and simple. Now, for when it comes to like a boss room, so if that's like one of the bosses in Nexus, all I would do is simply wait, take up Rumble Crush, and put an Earthen Grip. Yes, now normally if you're probably thinking, well, what happens if I pull something towards me? You're in DPS role, and you'd have nowhere enough dominance to even remotely move them, or even move an ad when it comes to the T5 raids. So in DPS role, Earthen Grip will become a normal DPS power. So for single target, plus Lex Luthor in Nexus, so let's show you what we want to do. So by range wise, so yeah. So we would go Earthen Grip, Debris Field, Striking Stones, Jump, and then pretty much the same as what we did before. As you can see, how far am I back? That's a lot of range. And my Robot Psychic is up close, doing loads of damage. and taking the aggro away from me. So what they're going to do, they're going to attack my Rubber Psychic, kill it, I'll just resummon it. So give me some power. Come on, you Psychic, come on, you Spam target. Thank you. So once again for a single target, it's this simple. So we want to go Earth and Grip, Debris Field, Striking Stones, Jump, and then we just go into Weapon Combo. Now we can do a Weapon Combo clipping it roughly around 3 times before we would have to go into, see, this is finished. This one is finished. And since it's got weapon buff, let's just pop Earthquake to see its damage. 789, followed by 644. Now, and we've got additional burn damage over time of about 30 something. Now for a 25% supercharge, that's actually not bad at all. Especially if you're going to use it as an AoE on everything, that's going to be quite a nice amount of damage. So guys, I'm doing my best to try and help the Earth DPSs out there and find a way for us to do a lot of damage and stay safe. I hope the Earth DPS T5 range raid loadout helped you out, but if you don't feel like using totem, then this loadout will probably benefit you even more, since you don't have to worry about place and stuff, and you can literally just stay ranged the whole time and you'll have a supercharge and a robot psychic doing additional damage. To be honest, the one out of those two, I probably prefer this one. So let me know what you guys think, if you try and how it goes. Let me know how well you've done. If there's any questions, leave it in the comment section or send me a private message. But anyway guys, until next time.
Beware my power. Green Lantern fly!